Hey guys, that cinephile guy here to give you my review of Pixar's Inside Out. Now, I just want to start off by saying this film is absolutely incredible. It will absolutely blow your mind. Even by Pixar standards, this one really stands out. I'll get to that in a minute. But I want to first talk about how creative and ambitious this film is. Basically, the premise of this film, it's set in the head of a young girl. Her name's Riley. And our lead characters are basically her emotions, so joy, fear, sadness, anger, and disgust. So already we've really got a really interesting concept, one that we can do a lot of, like Pixar can do a lot of creative things with it. There's a lot of opportunities there. And as Pixar do, they take it and they make something that's really thought-provoking, really creative, and really emotional, as you kind of come to expect from them. The first thing I kind of took away from this film, the first thing that really stood out was how intimate this kind of film was. It's a really intimate and personal story and just overall film compared to a lot of their other stuff. There's their other films. There was a lot of them are about like journeys and trying to find something or trying to get somewhere. This one has those elements to it, but its focus is more on the way that we sort of think about things. So yeah, there's not so much narrative flow and storytelling flow as a few of the other ones have, which I think might turn a couple of people a bit off. They might find this might be they might make it a bit slight and maybe a bit mechanical at times. But personally, I think that really brings out the emotion, makes it really a lot more impactful as far as feeling and emotions go. On that note, this film hit me harder than any of Pixar's other ones. Basically, the whole film is sort of talking about depression. Basically, the young girl is experiencing depression for the first time. Pretty much, she's going through those feelings and emotions, and she doesn't really know where these feelings have come from, and so what they mean. This is new to her. She's sort of lived 11 years of her life. It's pretty much in happiness, and then all of a sudden she's, stuff's changing around her, and she's wondering, what's going on? Why am I feeling this way? And for me, that was really kind of startling and striking to watch, because a lot of the feelings that she had were kind of reminiscent. I was kind of, thinking back to how I've been through that kind of thing, and I felt a lot of those emotions. I've been there before. So yeah, that really got to me. By the film's end, I was an absolute wreck. I was just in tears pretty much the whole last half an hour of the film. So yeah, more than pretty much any of the other ones that they've done. It really got to me. And I think that's why it's sort of really stood out as being so great, basically. As far as the script goes, this is a really well written, really clever script. It's really well paced. The film's only just over 90 minutes, I think, but it just zips by. It's just because it's so hilarious. It's really clever. There's a lot of well written jokes. There's a lot of visual jokes. There's some great visual stuff in there. There's a lot of there's a couple of pop culture references which are really cool. There's a little Chinatown reference towards the end which I loved. So yeah, it's probably the funniest since probably Monsters Inc. They've had a lot of funny ones, but I think that for me is probably their funniest. But this is right up there with that. And like I was mentioning before, the emotion, it's definitely one of their most emotional films, even more so than Toy Story 3, which I kind of thought was their peak as far as emotional impact goes. But yeah, this for me is past it, and that's a great thing. This one is also really a lot more thought provoking than their other ones. It's like I mentioned before. It's focusing on the way that we kind of think about things, and basically for me, what I've noticed is that it kind of changed the way that you think about things. It basically changed the way you think about how we think. Basically, I all this whole week I've sort of just been thinking, are there like little people running around in my head, you know, programming my emotions? So it sounds stupid, but you'll see this film and you'll kind of think, you know, you'll think about things more. It'll do that to you, and it'll do that to the kids as well. And that's one thing that Pixar know how to do really well. They know how to make thought-provoking ideas that are easy to digest for the adults and for the kids. In the cinema I was watching it in, the kids are absolutely loving this film, but you could see that they were you could sort of feel and see that they were really into it, and they were really taking what was happening in. And yeah, Pixar know how to do that to a T, you know. They're really great at that, they're real masters at that. As per usual, the animation is absolutely spectacular. The colours and stuff really pop. This is some of they just keep getting better with each film, their animation. The worlds that they created in this kind of thing is just amazing. You could sort of sit for days trying to sort of pick up on all the visuals and stuff like that. So yeah, you could just sort of just watch that. So even with on that sort of level, it's worth seeing. And also the voice acting is fantastic as well. Amy Poehler really is joy. That is the joy that kind of brings it all together. I mean, she's always great, but yeah, she's fantastic here. So that's sort of what we've come to expect from them, but of course that's really great in this film. So that's my kind of thoughts on it. That's all my ideas that I've sort of thought about it. Basically, I kind of want to finish off by saying sometimes a film comes along that you see it and you know that it's something special, and then that'll kind of stick with you, and it'll just be one that you'll revisit over and over again. Last year, Boyhood did that for me. The Dark Knight's another one. There are heaps of other ones, but they're the two off the top of my head. This one, Inside Out, is absolutely another one of those. It's one that I think will stick with me. It's one I'll frequently be revisiting, just because it hit me really close to home, this one. So for me already, it's a real personal favourite of Pixar's, and just generally kind of, it's absolutely one of their best films. It stands toe to toe with stuff like WALL-E and Finding Nemo and stuff, which are two of my other favourite ones. But yeah, this is absolutely one of their very best, and for me, this is the film of the year. So I'm going to give it 5 stars, which is only my second this year. So it's been a really good year so far. But yeah, Inside Out, film of the year, 5 stars. Go see it. Alright, enjoy. See you next time.